Hello and welcome to your Daily Red podcast. I am Guy Drinkel. I'm not one of the Daves because Dave Hendrick, sorry, doesn't do the weekends, and Dave Davis is luckily in Liverpool for the game and the parade, I believe. So it is moi for today. Uh, shall we get the transfer stuff out the way and then we can focus on the main event because we got to get the little bits of transfer in there, aren't we? It's May. And in Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards' timeline, that is basically the last week of the transfer window. So we have to get everything done before June. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted an update on Milos Kerkez this morning. What time do you tweet this? 8:11 a.m. It's not the biggest update, but understand negotiations between Liverpool and Bournemouth for Milos Kerkez remain underway. Liverpool remain favourites to sign Hungarian left-back as talks continue. Well, could be done soon. Kerkez remains very keen on the move. Personal terms are not an issue. I mean, I suppose it is a bigger update than I first thought, to be fair. Maybe I should have read that before I came on the podcast. um, I mean, yeah, it's good news. It's really good news. I think everyone agrees we need a new left back. I think more the debate is how we use Robbo next season, because by all accounts it's going to be Simicast leaving rather than Robertson. And is Robertson out of contract the next summer or is it the summer after? I'm not sure. But obviously, in terms of we don't want a lot of change in the dressing room, and I know Simicast obviously has a big role in it, but Robertson's probably what is he like? I'd assume Moore will be vice captain next, and if not, it'd be Robbo. And if not, then it'll be Allison. So you'd probably say, adding Van Dijk to that, they'd probably be the four in the leadership group if Arnie Slot's keeping that, obviously. But yeah, I think Robertson probably be one of those ones who will leave on a free. You'd imagine. But anyway, yeah, I think most people would agree we need to refresh left back because it's been a while. When did we sign Simicast? 2020? I think that sounds right. Um, yeah, I mean, would you? Would you? I mean, Robbo was what, 2017, 2018, 2017. So yeah, it's due. And to get probably, what, a 21-year-old, 22-year-old left back who's had two great seasons or good to great seasons for a very impressive Bournemouth side. Um, very attacking, very reminiscent of a younger Robertson. Very energetic, overlap. And if when the Wirtz deal hopefully gets done, to all the wood, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the logic with Wirtz playing as that left side Coutinho-ish role where he tucks in as the playmaker, and then Kerkez can provide the width. And you probably see similar on the right side with Frimpong. So basically, we're just going to have three number 10s who can just go wherever they want, you'd presume. Now, I didn't watch Feyenoord, but from what Dave Hendrick says, that's basically what it was. You had Minter kind of being the winger, and then was it Paxiao on the left side was more a number 10? And if we can replicate that with Wirtz and Kerkez, was it Hartman, their left back, I believe it was? Um, it makes sense. It makes sense. And obviously, it's kind of a change from this year where Robertson's. I don't think has Robertson got an open play assist this year? I don't think he has. Or I remember that stat floating around. But Robertson's played more as like a kind of half between third centre back and a much more defensive left back, hasn't he? So we're obviously going to change some things next year, or next season, I should say. But yeah, Kerkez, if the rumored price of what 40 to 45 million, prices are always going to go up. It's going to be harder and harder to find steals like Robertson for what 7 million or for Kevin Stewart, what it was at the time. Um, you're securing your left back position for the best part of a decade, and 40 million, 40-ish million, and then adding on, let's say, a good relationship with Bournemouth, who are going to always have players we will probably end up targeting. Um, why not? I mean, yeah, I mean, Kerkez is one of the highest fought left backs in the world, and he's going to keep improving. So yeah, that's big. That's great. Next up, a very just for sheer clickbait, caught offside. Bayern Munich ready to take Florian Wirtz revenge by stealing a Liverpool target. Right, this is a Premier League player. I will give you 5 seconds to guess who this is, listener. I don't think you'll get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eberici Eze, who I don't think I've seen linked with us by a actual outlet. Like maybe the odd like Team Talk article or something like that has done it, but like he's not been mentioned by Joyce, by Ornstein, by whoever. Like Eze is a great player, and if it wasn't for if it wasn't the Wirtz deal, and he maybe was like a couple of years younger, we'd be probably all over Eze. It probably makes sense. Premier League proven. I think he has like a 60 odd million release clause. I think off the top of my head, but yeah, we've not been linked with him. But it'd be a good. I think that'd be an interesting move for him. Obviously, there's Kane there. I think Eric Dyer's gone to Monaco now, hasn't he? Um, yeah, it's pure clickbait, and I suppose this is as well. uh, but yeah, is it? I'm not sure he's exactly what Bayern needs. He knows they've got Musiala and Elise, but I mean, Eze and Elise work together, and adding Musiala to that, it's just I don't know, pure playmaker ability. Maybe not the fastest, but Eze can dribble quite a lot. Elise could as well. Maybe not a lot of pace there, but probably be fun to watch. But who watches the Bundesliga, especially now that Bayern Munich are back to being a basically being a one team league. What is it? Eric Ten Hag going to Bayer Leverkusen? I don't think that'll bridge the gap. I've just noticed an exclusive on Caught Offside that has Arne Slot's picture, so I will just quickly have a looky at this. Liverpool's pursuit of one of Europe's most exciting young talents has reached a crucial stage, with the club prepared to table a staggering €120 million offer to buy Leverkusen for Florian Wirtz, according to Caught Offside sources. Liverpool concerned about Wirtz's wage demands. The player's representatives have made it clear that any move to Merseyside hinges on record-breaking wage package. The demands a salary of approximately $21 million per year, the equivalent of $25 million over a 5-year deal, making him the highest-paid player at Liverpool. The transfer could still happen. Well, yeah. That seems like bollocks, doesn't it? Does sound like bollocks, because what is 21 million per year? 20 per year split into weeks. That is about 400,000 a week. I believe. Was this in euros? Where is it? Yes, this is in euros. So I don't know what that. Wait. Oh, that £21 million per year is equivalent to 25 million euros. Right. So 400,000. I know he's coming for 120 odd million or whatever it is. But to come from Leverkusen, where I presume he was the highest earner, like who else would be up there? I mean, Hincapié got a new contract, in the couple of the centre backs got a new contract. I mean, are the strikers going to be on that? Probably not. I just don't see them paying anything above like 150 grand. And if he's going to jump from that to 400 grand, like, that's just ridiculous. Like, obviously, I don't think the wages will be a problem. By all accounts, from actual sources, the personal terms are just not an issue. I'm gonna guess he'll be on like 200 to 250. Because if we're obviously investing a lot in him, and we're probably going to think we're going to keep him for this first contract and hopefully the next contract, and then let's say the buy and move is his fancy, or if Real Madrid do their bloody thing, Um, the next contract's probably going to be what, on 300 odd grand, whatever. But yeah, that probably makes more sense in our timeline. Um, yeah, I think that's just two clickbaity things there. To be fair, um, in other news linked to the Wirtz deal, it looks like they want a player probably in a separate deal for PSR magic reasons, which has kind of become the norm in recent seasons. That's obviously also rumored with Darwin and Alvarez, which is obviously a bit more rumory than actual news. But it was Florian Plettenberg, who obviously is quite relentless in terms of transfer news. Maybe not the most accurate, but he's quite relentless with it. With the Bundesliga side in the market for a goalkeeper, centre back, and Wirtz replacement this summer, it opens the door for the Reds to offer a player plus fee to get the deal done. As I say, it'll probably be two separate deals because that way you can kind of sort PSR out for both clubs, really. I'm on This Is Anfield, I should say now. The names that make logical sense are Kelleher, Gerald Kwanzaa, Harvey Elliott, and Tyler Morton. Now I know they have two. Is it Haradecki and is it Kovac or Kovar? I think so. I don't think Kelleher is probably the biggest one there. Although maybe if they've just been, I know Haradecki's got a few issues in him, and I know that other keeper's made a few mistakes in the Champions League. Was it? Or was he the cup goalkeeper? I remember him making some high profile mistakes whilst we were doing Euro incision very earlier in the season. The three you'd probably be looking at, and the three that This Is Anfield have mentioned, is Tyler Morton, because he was linked with a loan move last summer. So if they want him permanently, you could include him. Jarrell Kwanzaa is probably the one we'd most like to keep because we have a lot to do this summer. And out of the centre backs, logically, it's probably more time for Joe Gomez to go. Now, we'd all love to keep Joe Gomez. It's just injuries catching up with him. He's never really going to be first choice again because I don't think you can trust his body. And Ibu's obviously gone up levels in the time his injuries have gone up. And we have to sort the Konate contract situation out one way or the other. So I'd be keeping Kwanzaa unless it's like a deal breaker. Then we just kind of have to replace him. The one that makes more sense is Harvey Elliott. Now, obviously, Wirtz kind of favours playing from the left, going off all the heat maps and stuff like that, or left cutting into the centre, obviously. Could they flip that? Obviously, Eric Ten Hag will play a very different system to Xabi Alonso. Will he prefer having a right winger who will cut in on the left? Like, he obviously wanted Anthony and got Anthony at United. Sancho played very narrow. Rashford kind of played narrow. So it kind of makes sense in that regard. You could see Elliott going to the Bundesliga. I think he's the type of player who'd really suit the Bundesliga. And if we could get a buyback clause just in case, because I think he's 22 now. If he did explode in Germany, and let's say we sold him them for 40 million, and we put a buyback of 60, I think that's pretty fair. Maybe 70 if you want to just kind of keep good relations with Bayer Leverkusen. Again, similarly to what I mentioned with Bournemouth, they'll always have good players for us to be after. It's kind of a win-win because Elliott gets to go play. He gets to go play at a really high level. He's in a Champions League team, basically an ever-present in Europe. The way they're run and the way the Bundesliga and Dortmund are especially, and Leipzig obviously had an awful season, they should probably be in the Champions League for the foreseeable. And if Elliott gets to play and flourish in a good league, I mean, maybe you could offer probably Elliott and Tyler Morton. And then that's 50, 55 million. It's a good deal for everyone involved, I think. I think it is. I don't watch the Bundesliga, as I mentioned earlier, because it's like a one-team league again. But I'd like to watch Harvey Elliott in that league. I think he would flourish, and I think he'd enjoy it.